We are big fans of power meters here at GCN. Regular viewers will know that, I'm sure. Dan, Lasty and I all saw big performance gains when we started to train with them. Matt probably would have done as well, to be fair, if only he was 10 years younger. Can I say that? I can't say that, can I? All right, let's start again. Scrap that bit, cut that bit out. I am super excited today. I'm excited firstly because we get to have a really good close look at some lovely, lovely bike tech. But then I'm excited secondly because one lucky viewer is going to get one of these through the post. One lucky viewer is going to be able to start training with power. That's like giving the gift of performance. All right, that's probably stretching it a bit. Enough of the waffle. You want to see what is inside these boxes. You also probably want to know how you can win them. And I'll tell you that at the end. But I will open the box right now. There you go. So that is a Quarq DZero power meter. It was released back in August of 2016, but Quarq are long established in the power meter market. They actually released their first back in 2008 after the company founder, Jim Mayer, who they describe as a maths-obsessed athlete, actually started making his own right back in 2006. If we then conveniently gloss over 150 different product iterations and improvements that actually lead to this, the DZero, then here we go. This is it. It just looks so simple, doesn't it? Now the power is measured here, this being your chainring spider. So your chainring's of course attached to these 5 points here, and then the whole thing is bolted onto your cranks. Now this one is actually designed to go on a specialised S-Works crankset, meaning that if you already had those cranks, you simply remove your old boring spider that does nothing but hold your chainrings on, and then replace it with this shiny new one. Quarq, of course, sell complete systems as well, so cranks, spider and chainrings already attached. A little bit like this one. So this is the Quarq DFour. Now, it shares exactly the same power meter as that one, the DZero, but this one is designed to be used with Shimano group sets. So effectively, that means that the chainring bolt spacing is different, so that it works with Dura-Ace Ultegra 105, and also the design of the spider, if you can see, is also slightly different. And that basically means that it looks right with the slightly chunkier Shimano chainrings. And that in my mind is a very, very nice touch. Back to the power meter bit though. So it measures your force that you're producing through a series of strain gauges in this bit here. Then there's also an internal accelerometer that tells you how fast you're pedaling, so your cadence. And the fact that it's internal means that you don't have any kind of extra magnetic sensors on your bike, so the whole thing is a lot cleaner. It then combines the two data sets, so your cadence with your force, to give you your power. And it's your total power as well. So the absolute power coming through your pedals and into your drivetrain, and not just one side or another, then trying to extrapolate out from that. However, because the accelerometer is cleverer than just being able to count, it can tell you what proportion of power is coming from your left and your right legs. Through a cool little bit of tech that Quarq call OmniCal, you can actually change your chainrings at will and not need any kind of factory recalibration. Accuracy though. Accuracy is all important when it comes to power meters, so you'll be pleased to hear that this one has been rated as accurate to 1.5%, which in the world of power meters is really, really good. And it will transmit your accurate power data via AMP+, which is kind of the industry standard, and also Bluetooth Smart, which is the new industry standard. Now, the added benefit of using Bluetooth Smart, or having Bluetooth Smart, is that actually you can then pair it up to your smartphone and make use of the new Quarq Kelvin app. So should you ever need any firmware updates, you can get them on there. And actually, you could pair your power meter up with your phone and use Zwift on your phone, should you wish. Now, as well as having a power meter that's accurate, you also want it to be robust. You just want it to work. Now, I think that having been making power meters for nearly 10 years, that gives quite a lot of credibility. But also, they have a really thorough process in the factory. So each unit is tested. And that bit of paper that I so callously discarded earlier on tells us, look, that the cranks were calibrated in the factory on just the 11th of July, just a few days old. But it's more than just making sure all the sensors are aligned and reading correctly. It is, as I said, a very thorough process. So first of all, each unit is submerged in water for 20 minutes. Now that means that the unit is therefore waterproof enough to be used on the roads here in England. And it's actually rated at waterproof to IPX7 standards. Now if you remember from a couple of months back, that basically means that in order to even challenge IPX7 standards when you're out riding, you would be having one very, very crappy bike ride. You would be submerged entirely for up to 30 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, but that is not exactly my cup of tea. Anyway, once they've decided that it is waterproof, it then goes through a 10,000 point temperature calibration system. So basically that means that no matter what temperature you're riding in, this is going to be giving you accurate data. So what else do you need to know then, apart from mega accuracy and robustness? Well, the battery life, I guess. Quarq say that the battery lasts between about 200 and 300 hours of riding, and then when you do need to replace it, it's simply a matter of unscrewing that little cap there, and then you will see there is a ubiquitous CR2032 coin cell battery in there. So very, very easy to replace. And then I suppose there's the issue of weight. Wait for it. Sorry. As we've seen, you can't buy a Spider on its own, but to put it in some kind of context, I'm going to weigh these ones, which have got SRAM's really rather lovely red carbon crankset attached to them. So that's the one with exogram technology. So if I pop that one on there, and that's a PF30 axle, then it weighs 602 grams. Now, to put it in a wider context, that means, from what I remember from SRAM's red cranks minus chain rings, that the power meter adds probably about 170 grams. So, not very much at all. Right then, enough of the tech porn. Although, before I actually tell you how you can try and win this, I've got one more very important bit of information. It's not just this crankset that you can win. You can actually choose whichever Quarq crankset you like. So if you have a Shimano equipped bike, you can indeed choose the DFour crankset, or if you've got a SRAM bike or any other bike, you can choose a DZero complete with cranks and also chain rings. So the choice is yours. What a luxury. As well as a power meter, you also get choice. Right then, to enter, all you got to do is click on the link in the description beneath this video. You'll then go through to the competition where you can enter. We will pick the winner at random, and then they will be announced in a forthcoming GCN show. Then, on receipt of their new power meter, the winner will be asked to do an FTP test, and then they'll be asked to repeat that 4 months later so we can assess your progress. Okay, all right, that last bit I completely made up. Although definitely, if you do get a new power meter, an FTP test should probably be one of your first ports of call. But I'll leave it up to you. It is entirely optional. What isn't optional, I mean technically it is, but it shouldn't be, is subscribing to GCN. For a start, you'd be an idiot not to, because we have unboxing competitions coming up all the time, and therefore if you subscribe, you will always be in the right place. So to do that, just click on the globe. And then if you're after some more content, we've got 2 great little videos where Dan and I don't do FTP tests, but we do use our Quarq DZeros for scientific purposes. Firstly, are disc brakes faster than rim brakes? Quarq DZero help there. That one is just down there. And then, is aero climbing faster? Oh yeah, that one is just down there.